If you still think Vinicius Junior is the #1 candidate for this year's Ballon d'Or, well, let me give you 3 reasons why he won't win it. The 2024 Ballon d'Or race is getting closer and closer, and many believe Vinicius Junior has it in the bag after his impressive performances in the Champions League and La Liga last season. But, and this is a big but, history tells us that international tournaments, sentiments, and recency bias can significantly impact the outcome. Let's start with international tournaments. If we look back a bit, recent history has consistently demonstrated that international tournaments have a profound impact on the outcome of the Ballon d'Or award. The last 3 instances of international tournaments have all influenced the winner of the prestigious award. This trend is evident in the victories of Lionel Messi in 2023 and Luka Modric in 2018. Lionel Messi's 2023 Ballon d'Or win is a prime example of the influence of international tournaments. Despite being eliminated from the Champions League round of 16 with PSG, Messi's exceptional performance in leading Argentina to World Cup victory was enough to secure him the award. Clearly, in the eyes of Ballon d'Or voters, Messi's success on the global stage outweighed his not-so-impressive performance in the Champions League. The same can be said of Luka Modric's 2018 Ballon d'Or win. The Madrid legend put up an impressive display in the World Cup that year. Modric led Croatia to the final, where they ultimately lost to France, but his outstanding performance throughout the tournament was enough to earn him the award, despite not having a fraction of Cristiano Ronaldo's goal contributions that season. This outcome shows how important international tournaments are in the Ballon d'Or voting process, as Modric's success on the global stage was deemed more impressive than Ronaldo's goal-scoring ability. In fact, since 2007, only 3 Ballon d'Or winners have not won an international tournament in the same year. Cristiano Ronaldo in 2013 and 14, and Luka Modric in 2018, although Modric did lead Croatia to the World Cup final that year. The thing is, the impact of international tournaments on the Ballon d'Or award is actually because of the prestige and competitiveness of these events. International tournaments represent the pinnacle of football, bringing together the best players and teams from around the world. As such, players who excel in these tournaments are seen as the best in the world, and their performances are given significant weight in the Ballon d'Or voting process. Vinicius Junior crashed out of the Copa America with Brazil when they met Uruguay. Throughout the entire tournament, he didn't even have any sort of decisive moment, unlike Bellingham, who came in clutch for England against Switzerland and even assisted Cole Palmer's equaliser against Spain. It's clear for everyone to see. Besides the impressive season Bellingham had last season, he was probably the #1 reason why England went through to that final. If the Ballon d'Or does not go to his English teammate, they might as well give it to Man City's Rodri or Madrid's Carvajal. Everyone knows how impressive Rodri has been in the last few years. He is no doubt the best DM in the world currently, and that's by a long mile. And besides winning the Premier League last season, he's won the Euros with Spain and was named Player of the Tournament. His Spanish teammate Carvajal is up there as well. He broke the goalless tie against Dortmund in the UCL final for Madrid after smashing in that powerful header, and he was very important to Spain's success in this Euros campaign. Perhaps it's time to be the second defender to win the Ballon d'Or after Cannavaro. If the Ballon d'Or is awarded based on sentiments, it wouldn't be the first time that would be happening. There's a solid history of journalists favouring players who've had an emotional connection with fans or have achieved milestones in their careers. This emotional bias can sometimes overshadow a player's actual performance on the field, and this leads to votes being cast based on feelings rather than facts. The impact of sentiment on Ballon d'Or voting is evident in the potential candidacy of Toni Kroos. Journalists might feel inclined to give him a farewell gift, voting for him as a tribute to his impressive career, even if his performance hasn't been the best in the year. This sentiment-driven voting can lead to an undeserving winner, as the players who have had better performances might be overlooked. Similarly, Jude Bellingham's impressive debut season and notable performances at the Euros might earn him more votes due to his youthful energy and potential. His impressive start to his career might make journalists more inclined to favour him, even if other players had better performances. On the other hand, Vinicius Junior's forgettable moments at the Copa America might count against him. Despite his impressive club season, journalists might remember his lackluster performance in the tournament more vividly than his goal-scoring exploits for Real Madrid. This emotional bias can sometimes cloud judgment, leading to votes being cast based on feelings rather than facts. According to a study by the International Centre for Sports Studies, sentiment plays a significant role in Ballon d'Or voting, with 60% of voters admitting to being influenced by emotional factors. This means that a player's popularity, personality, and career milestones can sometimes outweigh their actual performance on the field. The study highlights the need for voters to consider both performance and sentiment when casting their votes. To add to this, a survey by the sports website found that 70% of fans believe that sentiment plays a role in Ballon d'Or voting. Clearly, the general public is also aware of the emotional bias in the voting process, and that it sometimes can lead to undeserving winners. The survey highlights the need for transparency and objectivity in the voting process, ensuring that the winner is chosen based on merit rather than sentiment. So no doubt about it, sentiment plays a significant role in the Ballon d'Or voting process. Recency bias is another factor that could impact the outcome. This means that players who have had a strong start to the season might be more likely to win the award, even if their overall performances throughout the year haven't been the best. The recency bias can lead voters to overlook what a player has done in the previous season and focus solely on their recent achievements. For instance, if Rodri and Bellingham continue to impress in the early stages of the season, they might build momentum and gain advantage over Vinicius Junior. On the other hand, if Vinicius Junior has a slow start to the season, his chances of winning the award might diminish. The recency bias can work against him, and voters might forget his impressive performances in the previous season. So, it's always important to have a strong start to the season, as it can set the tone for the rest of the year and impact a player's chances of winning the Ballon d'Or. The fact that the Ballon d'Or winner won't be announced until October means that there's still plenty of time for players to make their mark. If Rodri and Bellingham continue to perform well throughout the season, they might solidify their chances of winning the award. On the other hand, if Vinicius Junior can regain his form after that poor run at the international level and get things ticking immediately next season, he might still be in contention. Let's not forget that recency bias can sometimes lead to undeserving winners. For instance, in 2013, Cristiano Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or despite having a relatively poor start to the season. However, his impressive performances in the latter half of the year secured him the award. But it was very clear that Bayern's Frank Ribery should have won after he had an insane run of form that season, while also winning every possible trophy. To wrap it all up, yes, Vinicius Junior is a strong contender for the 2024 Ballon d'Or, but the outcome is far from certain. International tournaments, sentiments, and recency bias can all impact the outcome, and other players like Mbappe, Rodri, Carvajal, and Bellingham are still in the running. The race is on, and only time will tell who'll take home the coveted award. Who do you think will eventually get their hands on the Ballon d'Or this year? Let us know what you think in the comment section below.